lot of us are being forced into solitude right now, in our homes, apartments, wherever we live. But we're also being forced into solitude in our own minds. Life is the most brutal endurance sport of all time. And that's what we have to love about it. We have to flip it on its head and love the fact that life continues to attack us. There are no timeouts. You have to be that person who's always prepared. But the solitude right now that a lot of us are dealing with is what we don't want to deal with. It's the fact that we have to think about all these things that we don't like about ourselves. We like to use life as a big escape. That escape is not there anymore. All these distractions that we use, they're no longer there. Stop looking at me or other people out here to be the hero of your story. Knowing one thing in life, we are all very fragile in this world. We have to know that when we die with some meaning and some purpose in this world.
What do I think of people that say, find your passion? I will say they mean very well, but they don't understand what passion actually is. So I think because a rare breed of individual develops a passion when they're young, they then mistake it for, I found my passion, but that's not really true.
Every day you just get up and I don't fear anything, but I worry about everything. And the day you stop worrying in good times, the paddle will get you behind. And so as great as things are in life, I know you're only a few steps or a few incidents away from something bad happening. You can never forget it.
The real ballast for you emotionally and ethically is that you want other people to be happy. You want them to have beautiful lives. You want them to realize their dreams. You realize that there's the sense that there's a zero-sum contest between your well-being or your happiness and others. It's not transactional. You realize that that is actually a state of being. That's the way that could be the default state of your own consciousness if you could only locate it.
To see these negative thoughts, objectifying them and calling them demons, because then we no longer have to own them. It's very different to try to will yourself against yourself, because a lot of times that's what it is. It's like you're fighting against yourself. But if you recognize that these thoughts come from without, that they don't belong to you, right? You can project your energy out at the entity that keeps knocking at your door.
It was just a God-given gift. But also remember, I didn't get a lot of those other gifts. Don't ask me to play that guitar. Don't ask me to sing you a song. And don't ask me to draw you anything. But you've got to know your God-given gifts. And everybody has it. Everybody in this room has it right here. So do what you know was your God-given gift.
Now, the pursuit of mastery, when you realize that you can not only do something for yourself, but you can influence the world, that becomes the real passion, because you're developing a set of skills that means something to you, and it allows you to do something in the world that other people cannot do.
Time out now for you to stop avoiding things. Get that pen and paper out. Look inside yourself.
If you're just serving yourself, I don't think it will ever be quite the optimistic, uplifting, self-continuing thing that it could otherwise be.
Most of humanity, even at this moment, doesn't have the free attention to really think seriously about what it means to be happy. You know, it's just, I mean, you just look at the economic imperatives of, you know, most people in most situations. It's not about really having the free attention to do whatever you want or what you would think at the end of the day would be most satisfying.
I think people can feel very out of control, and I mean there's something jarring about learning that everything, the things that feel most true to you about reality are possibly not structured that way.
So when you're serving other people and you're doing something that uplifts other people, but with a skill set that you had to work your ass off to get, and it's a skill set that you love and you love the acquisition of that skill set, then there's a light airiness to it that feels uplifting. And if you can get in that loop, then you're good.
You're lost in thought almost every moment of your life, and much of your thinking has this mediocre character of causing you to worry about the future and regret the past, and just feel a baseline dis-ease with life.
Just the little bitty things. And I just think that it's easy to separate yourself from anybody else, no matter what your position is. If you go to work for a company and you don't go up the corporate ladder, it's your fault. Nothing goes unnoticed, okay? And I tell people that all the time. If you want to separate yourself, it's easy to do because somebody above you is going to notice it. Your peers are going to notice it. It is easy to separate yourself from anybody else.
Life is going to be a grand struggle until you understand that you are a chemical processing plant. And once you understand how to take control of the chemical processing, and then you can do virtually anything you want. You can create desire, you can stay focused, you can improve, but you really do have to put yourself in a position to adapt or die. Your body has to believe. Those are my two options, adapt or die. And then it really will adapt.
Is to get into a position where thoughts are like thieves entering an empty house. Right? So there's just no possible problem. So to truly be indifferent to between a good thought and a bad thought, that's the real superpower.
No one will act for the many, but people will act for the one. So basically, stop thinking about solving the world's problems. Find somebody you know and love that has that problem and solve it for them.
Times, get good. And it goes back to what I once again preach. When times are really